So this just got in today. This is one Victorinox that is actually rare, and it's coming from Japan. And I believe this is really something that is exclusive for the Japan market. So this is the Tinker for Kids. Okay, this is how it came to me today. So I've already unboxed it. I'm sorry, but in this is the original way I saw it when it and I got it. So I'm just gonna be unboxing how it came. So we have a bunch of literature which are in kanji, and this is the first time I'm actually opening these. You can see, I believe that these are instructions for how to maintain the Swiss Army knife, general. I think the same literature that is provided by us if we're buying a regular Swiss Army knife, and how to use the tools in here, and some more literature. Okay, this very specific. Some variations come with some crafting, a bit of warnings there for how to appropriately use or not to use your Swiss Army knife. Okay, this is after all meant for kids. Okay, you can see the various types of projects kits in some variations of this, but what I purchased is actually just a tool. So at the back of this page, this is pretty unique. It's not something that we get from regular Victorinox literature, or how to use these things. Okay, again, they're all in kanji, and I believe that's how to sharpen this. Okay, the box says that it's here. The model is 0.4603-X3. That is the model for this. And it says here on the left side, I guess that's the kanji characters for Tinker for Kids. So this is actually 84 millimeters. If I compare it to a Bantam, it's pretty much the same size. Of course, this is a two-layer type of Victorinox Swiss Army knife, and the Bantam is just one layer. Pretty much the same. If I compare it to a 91 millimeter, say this was the compact, you can see it's relatively, the Tinker for Kids is really shorter. So now let's take a look at what the Tinker for Kids has. First, as the name implies, the regular Tinker, this is a kid's version of that. So the Swiss knives I got from Japan usually would have these types of stickers. Okay, so it has the model number and the name of the model of Swiss Army knife. Its main tool, of course, we have the blade. What differentiates this from the regular type of Swiss Army knives is that this comes with a blunt blade. Okay, again, this is meant for kids, but the edge here, you can see, it's only limited up to here and this bend, right? But everything else is like, you can't stab anyone with a blunt. Okay, I'm poking myself gently, of course. And the edge is, if you could take a closer look, it ends to here. So here it's not sharp until it comes to this point of this edge of this blade. It's pretty much interesting because, for safety purposes, for kids who would have this as their first knife, will have a reduced incident of being poked, of course, accidentally. Okay, pretty much this is what makes this unique. Now, comparing it to a regular Bantam, they pretty much have the same type of blade, but this one has really a blunt one. You can see. Here's another view of this. And of course, the backside is pretty much the re- regular. And of course, the lettering, the stamps are there. Officer Swiss for both. And I'm just assuming that this is made in, again, in Switzerland. So that's comparing it with the Bantam. Okay, regularly, of course, the 91 millimeters has a bigger blade, substantially bigger than an 84 millimeter, longer. They have the same stamp, of course, on both sides. On the other side, it says Victorinox Swiss made stainless. Width wise, okay, we could pair it with the Bantam again. The width of the blade is exactly the same. Pretty much the same here. I believe I have a thickness gauge. Okay, usually I use this for my leatherwork. It says here it's about 1.9 millimeters. Same spot. It's the same, 1.9 millimeters. At the end, it's about 0.8 millimeters. Same spot. It's a bit thicker. No, it's the same. It says here 0.8 millimeters. That's pretty much the same blade for comparing it to the Bantam. Okay, let's have a look at the other tools. So we have their main blade, and then we have a nail file as the pointy end and a nail file here. Let's close these. Okay, so that's the first layer. And it comes with, of course, the can opener, what you can find in regular Swiss Army knives, and a flat screwdriver combo with the can opener. And basically, this is a pattern that's similar to the regular Tinker, and it comes with a Phillips screwdriver, and this one has an awl with a sewing eye. So basically, it's a kid version of the Tinker. I believe that the Tinker, of course, it's 91 millimeters, and this is 84 millimeters, a smaller version. Of course, they would have scale tools, regular tweezers, of course, and of course, the all favorite or all regular toothpick. Being an 84 and a regular type of, I mean, smaller than a 91, there is no pen slot for this. Okay, if comparing it, just to have an idea, comparing it with the Bantam, which is one layer, of course, this one is one layer more, so it's a bit thicker. Now, one thing I like, okay, I'm not gonna be gifting this to any kids. Actually, this is my personal use, and the reason this why I picked this, and well, I have of course the regular types of um, Swiss Army knives. In the 91, I have the compact. I'm loving the compact so far, because I could do a lot of things. But my one problem that here when I'm where I'm living is that we have a law that you can't carry a knife without good reason unless your job requires a knife. In which case, I do. I'm an architect. I actually use knives or blades to actually sharpen my pencils. So this one uh, sort of like reduces this, I guess, the stigma of me somebody carrying a knife. Okay, so normally, currently, I'm using a bladeless. Okay, so this is the latest one from Victorinox. This is much more modern, which is the Slim, Alex Slim, they call it. In which case, this is a bladeless Victorinox currently, which only has scissors and two other smaller tools, which are the regular bigger uh, cap lifter slash combo with a flat screwdriver. And of course, this is coming from a companion, the tool, which is a package opener, which I really like. And I love this because it's something that is in my belief it's quite useful. So I'm carrying this as here with my custom, of course, for my regular channel viewers, and I've even engraved my name already. This is my custom wallet, which is the Apex wallet iteration, which is the latest iteration. This is version 2, iteration number 4. For the Tinker for Kids Swiss Army knife, I want to be able to have a this sort of blade, but not so big, dangerous looking because of the blunt, to be able to sharpen a pencil because I still use a pencil, and being in a tertiary education institution, I need to be able to demonstrate to my students, and my students are actually allowed to have like these box cutters for sharpening pencils, and they're colored pencils or regular types of graphites. So, and in essence, this is allowed in our school because I'm working in an arts school. The way I'm seeing it is that, if this is going to be used against me, there's less danger for me to be killed with a knife by the stabbing motion of it, right? Rather than being cut. Of course, this is sharp, of course, but the danger of being stabbed with one of these is actually less. So I wanted to carry this because I wanted to have actually something that's more capable somehow. Since this one doesn't have an scissors, i- the Slim Alex would complement the Tinker for kids. I don't like calling it for kids, but rather I'd like the Tinker. I want to call it like a Tinker safe. This is a tool set, not a weapon. So that's the main point here. So I would like to carry these two as complementary tool sets. Okay. So one with scissors, one with not. One has a sort of not so dangerous knife. The other one has other tools. So these are extremely flat. Okay. Something like the Tinker Deluxe here, which has the same back one, except it has extra stuff like a plier. But the thing about this is that it's very thick, and you need to carry this mm, with a sheath of sorts. But these two are thin. Okay, so basically they're thin, and one of this is the reason why I invented this wallet. So the wallet here again has slots. Okay, it's particularly here. So in the frontmost, not really frontmost, front pockets, the outside has this horizontal slots, two of them for AirTag or any other implements here. I don't know yet exactly, but that's the design. So this goes to, let's go start with the slim ALOX. Okay, this is here. So I already have my cards. I have like 1, 2, 3 compartments for cards. And this one is, of course, the cash compartment. So the slim ALOX goes to here, the left slot. And of course, the Tinker Small, I guess. I'll have to put in a pull tab so that it's easier for me to take them out. One thing about also the Slim Alex is that it doesn't have a keyring, so that makes it difficult for me to pull it out. I have to push it through the slot to take in order for me to take out the Slim Alex. But the Tinker has a keyring, so this goes into this slot. Okay, so everything's a bit too tight. No, quite tight because this is brand new. This is just a new update to my model, and over time, leather would stretch and becomes looser. Currently, the dimensions were meant for an 84 millimeter rather than the 93 millimeter slim Anox here. So now I'm just placing them in. So the idea here is that this functions as my wallet slash slots for these Swiss Army knives. So there's an AirTag here, of course. So in order for me to find this set, if I misplace them, and of course, there's this flap that I want to cover these, even though these are not supposed to be weapons. These are tools of my trade, and I want to lessen the people being alarmed by seeing a Swiss Army knife. Of course, Swiss Army knives are very recognizable with their red scales. And of course, from time to time, I would use my cash. I would use my cards, and like my Metro card, and most use my ID and a bank card or debit card right here. Of course, I still can access these by pinching where these cards are or pushing them through this slot. Okay, so that's the parameters of this latest iteration of this wallet. And of course, you snap this close this way. It's a bit tight, all right? So I'm going to be updating this with 10 millimeters more of strap length. But this is basically what it looks like. This is how it's packed. So when you need to sharpen or cut anything or paper, you got your tool, take out a tinker. Right? So that's use it. After using it, pull it back in and just slide it in again. And then, of course, close it. So this is the Apex wallet again. You could see it's rather thick, right? You could still see from the bottom the slim ALOX, the red scale here, but not here. So normally this is how I handle when I'm taking out cash. So people seeing the red scales is less obvious. And if people or security will actually inspect this, they could see that I'm not really actually carrying any dangerous, sharp, pointy. The pointy is eliminated, of course, for the Tinker. For kids, okay. Tinker Junior or Tinker Small. Me as an adult, of course, it's a welcome iteration of the Swiss Army knife. Um, I still love my compact. It's my new favorite one, but this one I don't carry. Stays home. What do you think of the Tinker or these Swiss Army knife and my wallet? Let me know what you think about these implements and, of course, the invention of this wallet itself. So, thanks so much for watching.